Today, I wanted to discuss an operator in the game named David, who possesses a remarkable 100% reload ability. This outstanding attribute makes David an excellent pairing with the Injector gadget. The Injector, a healing secondary weapon, allows players to aim and shoot at their allies, replenishing their health. However, when used by anyone else, the Injector takes longer time to reload. Some players opt for the Injector when playing as Victor, as it grants him exceptional agility of movement speed while reloading. Nevertheless, apart from being an enjoyable tool here and there, the Injector alone cannot be relied upon for Victor. Nonetheless, David's abilities truly enhance the Injector's efficacy. Every single second, or even less, he injects someone and provides his teammate with the ability to either shoot at an accelerated rate while healing, or prolong the effects of healing while engaging in regular shooting abilities. Before I delve into the topic, let's first discuss selecting a loadout that focuses on providing complete support. For this particular loadout, I opted for Missile Defense and EMP. Missile Defense is clearly a valuable asset for anyone who wishes to fend off smoke, grenades, flash, or avoid Diana's abilities. Speaking of smoke, it's essential to note that you cannot use the Injector while in smoky surroundings, unless you have chosen Miro as your operator. However, selecting Miro would diminish the speed and efficiency of your Injector abilities, aligning with the same limitations that are faced by other operators. But then again, none of the other operators can effectively use the Injector in smoke like Miro. Therefore, be aware of smoke, which could be a great defense strategy. As for my other loadout choice of EMP, it proves advantageous in scenarios where mines and Sharons emerge, as it also aids in dismantling enemy loadouts, as well as their defenses by neutralizing their missile defense. In addition to my loadout choices, I decided to equip the XL20 shotgun for moments when I need to shift from a healer role to that of a shooter. Sometimes it feels effortless to make this transition, but other times I find myself facing challenges, particularly when I'm running with random squads and find myself alone. This loadout proves especially challenging when playing solo because there is no additional defensive option if I miss my 2 XL20 shots. I mean, it's clear that the Injector is excellent for supporting the team, but it's important to realize that it may not lead to high personal scores unless you are focusing mainly on assists. Then you would most likely have the highest assists each time. However, there's something incredibly satisfying about healing your team. Perhaps it's the feeling of single-handedly keeping everyone alive throughout the entire game, and occasionally saving Moses from certain afterlife. Currently, I consider healing JB while he wields the F8 sniper rifle as one of the most potent combinations to support. Due to the sniper rifle's high damage, fire rate, and accuracy, when paired with the Injector, it truly transforms him into a deadly force on the battlefield. Especially when you have the mod that enhances your allies' shooting speed. Speaking of mods, initially, I opted for 2 healing mods and a range mod. However, as Pure rightly mentioned, it feels like you're healing them with bee stings. It's crucial to remember that the duration of the healing effect is essential to ensure your allies' well-being. I chose to increase the effect duration by 80%, which significantly prolonged my allies' survival rate. However, their shooting abilities weren't as impressive because I didn't have the fire rate target mod installed as it was subbed out for duration. Target fire rate mod plays a crucial role in eliminating enemies faster. However, if it is installed, then your Injector reduces the effect duration from 80% to 40% due to the way the mods are structured. Installing the fire rate for target mod would undoubtedly make your teammates appreciate you, but if you stick with the effect duration mod, they will live a little longer. Ultimately, it comes down to your preference. Do you prefer extending their survival or maximizing their killing efficiency? It's important to keep in mind that having your team shoot faster may not be ideal for certain guns like the XL20, as it's not as enjoyable when you only have 2 shots. However, for almost every other gun, it becomes an excellent option to enhance your team's shooting abilities. I vividly recall instances when allies like Junkyard and Delta would inject me, and I always delighted in the increased fire rate of my gun while under the effects of the injection. You can genuinely feel the significant difference it makes. David, despite not being an epic operator, is consistently chosen by players. I believe most operators, aside from epics, should possess similar abilities, as it contributes to the overall fun experience of using them. As I mentioned earlier, the combination of healing and enhancing shooting abilities is remarkably entertaining. Even though you're not personally racking up the kills, it's still exhilarating to watch your team succeed, which is something I didn't think was possible before. One issue I would like to highlight is that if your team is struggling, you might have to switch to another loadout in order to maintain the flow of the game and actively participate in the attack. While I thoroughly enjoy using this particular loadout, there are times when it becomes challenging to support my team if I cannot join them in the offensive. It's important to acknowledge that using this loadout might disrupt your gameplay when switching to other operators. As I have mentioned in the past, playing with Kilter requires learning new habits and a different playstyle. I believe running the Injector follows a similar pattern, where you need to acquire new skills in order to effectively utilize it. That being said, Injector as a loadout could affect how you play other loadouts, as well as prompting you to question when to deploy it and when to consider alternative approaches. After a while of experimenting and having fun in some games but struggling in others, I eventually decided to remove David from my loadout choices. One of the main reasons I decided to remove the Injector from my loadout was because of Miro and Flash, to be honest. Similar to how smoke affects your visibility, being Flash leaves you unable to take any action. Unfortunately, I noticed an increasing presence of flash grenades when I was using David, which forced me to bring back the reliable but somewhat boring Miro to my lineup. I'm really looking forward to the introduction of the fourth loadout because I believe having more options is the key to enjoying the game. While this loadout can be quite enjoyable, I must emphasize that your squad plays a significant role, and if they are unable to support you in the same way you support them, it becomes extremely challenging to manage David and the Injector in your lineup. I would certainly recommend this combination as it has proven to be effective for years, but it's important to be aware of the issues it can present. Keep a vigilant eye out for Miro because although your MD may mitigate effects of flash grenades, it might not be effective if the enemy also employs EMP grenades alongside the flash. Sharon is indeed another annoying factor, and if your team doesn't actively jump in front to help protect you, you'll find yourself facing that threat too often. This can lead to neglecting the David and Injector combo and opting for a different strategy. I would also recommend staying active and focusing on one individual at a time, as it becomes easier to prevent them from dying. While you can certainly inject others if they are in danger, if that's not the case, I suggest sticking close to one person for the best results. You need to identify who would benefit the most from the Injector and can cause the most damage on your team, and then stick by their side. Not everyone knows how to effectively play the game while under the effects of an injection, so your team can't afford to play scared. If you, as the Injector, have the ability to keep them alive, I suggest communicating with them and tell them to trust you. Alternatively, if that doesn't motivate them, then find someone else on your team who is fearless and willing to go in regardless of the outcome, as long as they know the healer has their back. Trust and teamwork are essential in making the Injector and David combo effective for a squad. Another important aspect to note is that the Injector provides a slight increase in movement speed when activated. While it may not be a significant difference, it is enough to be noticeable during gameplay. Additionally, I'm not sure if I mentioned this earlier, but the range of your Injector is incredibly useful. It's advantageous to maintain some distance from your allies while still being able to heal them effectively. If your allies are surrounded by enemies, it's a good idea to keep your distance to avoid being targeted while still providing support. If you spot enemies trying to chase you, you can easily retreat. Therefore, having range as one of your mods is highly recommended. In terms of other mods, personally, I find myself torn between choosing fire rate and effect duration. However, I'll leave that decision up to you and encourage you to discuss it further in the comments section to gather more perspectives. That sums it up. If you have any questions, feel free to ask, and I encourage everyone to engage in the comments section to share their insights and help each other better understand the Injector. I also want to give a big shout out to our channel supporters. Thank you all for your love and support, as you are the constant healers of this channel, keeping it thriving. Let's all embody the spirit of the Injector by boosting the channel with likes, comments, and subscriptions to continue our journey towards success. And if you like the channel, then please consider becoming a member, as well participating for giveaways. Thank you all, and enjoy the rest of the video.
GPS.
Loadout still doing up Cali. Dribbling man can't catch me. Flexed up like they really with Pally. I don't want it's just at me. I just want money that's calm. Teenage never worry about acne. Nah, I ain't never been with a baddie. She can't, so I added to the tally. I just remember uncle and I'm Maddie. Like Matt's trying to see me that alley. I saw right then I left at the alley. Like you don't look too shabby. Good thing come from the valleys. I just wanna play with that money. Yes, I really want to play with that pussy. Baby, she give me the wet. I made that pussy sweat. Tell her feelings go fast. She wanna tell me she love me. I tell her I'm cool, so I tell her to sweat me. My little bitch do the tech.
Pray the best. Say it with chest.
Me the best.
Let me caress.
She ain't under the rest. No, she ain't feeling no stress. Like, come here, baby. Sit on my lap when I have you at the bitch. I don't smoke chimney. Bad bitch, see I'm feeling me. Fat set Felix, come like frenemy. Like Oliver Twist, she begging for more. Like sisters, pour the Hennessy. Get set for the ready, we steady beat. She takes special miss, what's the recipe? I give her like fucking me, eternity. Shit, she want the best of me. Flip her over in bed till she rest in peace. Beat up the pussy and pray that she rest in peace. She sniffing that Disney shit. She call it that gold la these bitches wanna pop. They owe me, they don't like my club. She rock, she popping them all. She don't wanna fuck with my squad. She wanna love on me on. She don't wanna love on no boy. Nah.
Bring it, yo, sis, I don't think they're ready for this shit. Hey, yo, let me take their ass back to the club real quick.